Paper, there you are.
Oh.
Let's get this over with once and for all.
Well, I am ready. What specifically are you having an issue with?
Well, it's not an issue, sir. It's just that the light bill is $30,000 and I want to know how much to pay out of it.
Well, there's a special formula that we use to calculate the bill. Did you not read the lease agreement?
For what, sir? If I am going to pay a light bill, why must I go to the lease agreement to do so?
Because the formula is in the agreement. Clause 77B and item 102 deal with that specific matter. I implore you to read the agreement. Look, when I gave you an opportunity to review the lease, you promptly signed and still have not yet read. You have gone ahead and disregarded and disrespected my heroic efforts to protect you with this agreement. You know what? Let us go inside and discuss.
No. This situation is getting too difficult for me. How must I leave somewhere and I have no privacy inside of here? Every time I turn on, you may see I invade my space. Look at no man, is either your handy inside or your handy outside. You know, frankly speaking, I feel like we give up this blinking place, you know.
Well, I would not have a problem with that. Just remember that the lease agreement is for 2 years. Clause 13 speaks specifically to the penalties incurred for an early withdrawal from that agreement. If I were to have an early withdrawal from an engagement with you, I'm sure you'd have a problem with that.
But then why did you give me a pre-notice, sir?
Well, just in case that you commit a serious breach, you know, like paying the rent late or subletting. Come with me. Section 37, subsection 22, subsection B.
Sub what?
In the event that the lessee takes occupation of the property on a date other than the date that the meter was last read, the amount to be paid by the lessee on the light bill may be calculated by using the following formula. P equals the square root of T plus D raised to the power of 2 multiplied by a coefficient of M, where P is the number of persons living here, T is the total on the bill, D is the number of days, and M is a stabilization factor.
Is a mathematics class, sir? Listen to me, just tell me how much money I'm supposed to pay.
$8,425.35.2.
Well, thank you very much.
Including GCT.
Why am I paying GCT and the light bill when my part is supposed to be below the threshold?
Look, if you had not used the light during the period, then you would not have to worry about the threshold. If you had read the lease agreement, then we would not be having these discussions.
Mr. Paper, don't you think you're being a bit too harsh on me, sir?
Look, I run a business. A business has no sympathy and no emotion. I take on the personality of the business.
That much I know. Now, Mr. Personality, since you dealing with the business, could you just step aside and let me speak to Mr. Paper for a few minutes, please?
No. Once a tenant lives here, and I come here to see the tenant, I take on the personality of the business. Even if I try to go back to being Donald Paper, I would not succeed. So just deposit the money in the bank, and I will see you some other time. Oh! Tell your relatives not to pick any fruit in the yard.
Two more things before you go, sir. I would love for you to give me all of the keys for the front door. And that picture that I have over there, so stay back in me and just put it back in the room, please, where the room that you're not renting.
The first request would mean an increase in the lease, for obvious reasons. And the second request would mean that you'd have to leave the house. You have decisions to make. I will see you next time.
Lord of mercy. If I could have get something and clobber the man there. Crosses.